So I haven't met a rhythm that I don't like. And occasionally, if you watch me, when there's something beautiful playing, you might watch my foot kind of tapping. And if it gets a bit more rhythmic, I might sway a little. At times, my drummer self begins to drum on his legs, on his feet, or maybe clap a little. I haven't met a rhythm that I don't like. It's in my bones, deep within my bones. I can't really explain it. All I know is that I can hear it. I can hear the bass line in any musical piece, and it brings me so much joy. It just fills my heart. So knowing this reality, a few months ago, my spouse gifted me with something. She gifted me with something I've been talking about for a while but hadn't done yet. She gifted me with bass guitar lessons. Now, again, I can feel the beat deep within my soul. I can hear the bass line playing, but my fingers can't do the thing I need them to do. It's frustrating to this deeply rooted rhythm player. It's even more frustrating for my bass guitar teacher. I can hear the rhythm, but I'm having to teach my body to do something different than it's used to. Hit those chords at the right time. I'm having to learn to slow down just enough and to practice. It takes practice. Well, we here at First-Plymouth, like I hope in every congregation across the United States, we often talk about love. We talk about God's love. We say God is love, and we say that Jesus is the incarnation of love in the world, and we say that we, the church, is the body of Christ in the world, which if we continue this train of thought together, means that then we are the body of love in the world. That's who we are. That's our primary identity. And if you hear from the letter today, you hear that the writer is telling us that this community is being built up in love. In other words, that this love is not automatic. In other words, we feel the rhythm of love in us. And when we're together, we feel the rhythm of love among us, but that it requires practice together to tune our loving in the world. It's not easy. It's not automatic. It requires practice. But that we've been given some tools so that we can be most effective in our loving practice in the world, in our practice of being divine life in the world, in our practice of being Jesus in the world. We've been given some tools, some gift sets. Now, the letter gives us some particular gift sets today: evangelist, prophet, shepherd, teacher. And certainly those are part of the larger history of being the body of Christ in the world. They're important, I guess, in some way. What's most important in these that the writer gives us are merely a small sampling of the plethora of gifts that are found in the Christian community. Yes, right here, in this building. This building in this moment is teeming with gifts given by God, so that then we can be better at rehearsing the love of Jesus in the world. Some of us, our gift sets are more specific. Others might not be so much so. Some gift sets are obvious. You might have walked in today and seen some of our gifted greeters at the door. The friendly faces that welcome you in worship. Oh, that's a gift. And some of you were trying to hide for dear life from those very gifted, welcoming people. But there are other gifts here. Did you know, for example, that if you, during this very moment, that there are folks downstairs who are helping our children learn about Jesus? They're using their gifts to gather these children together. We need people that have those gifts too, you know. Maybe you have those gifts. Oh, and there's some almost right below the backside of the west sanctuary side. Y'all over there, yeah, right below you are a bunch of teenagers. And as someone who's recently parented teenagers, I can tell you, I'm glad we have adults that are working with them. People whose gift sets are there to help young people think about love and God and faith and Jesus and loving neighbor. Maybe you have those gift sets too. There are other gift sets here. See, you know that if we're to be rehearsing love in the world, if we're to be better, getting better at it, the more we practice together, then we need as many tools as possible. So there are other gifts that emerge out of this community. There might be some of you who are good listeners to others, who can sit and have a cup of coffee, preferably with a cookie in hand. You can just hear someone else's story about where they are. Maybe you're here and you're wondering whether you have gifts at all. Sometimes we're not at our best. Sometimes we're going through what is seen on that moment as the worst day. Maybe that's what you bring today. You know what it's like to be down and out. You know what it's like to not have a good day. Maybe today the gift you bring is the gift of awareness. This is what communities like recovery communities are so pivotal to our lives together, because sometimes we find ourselves on our worst day, on our hopeless day, and what we bring to others is that moment of vulnerability that we know, oh, I know a bad day. Grief and pain come visiting. And we need people who come alongside each other who know bad days. We need people with gifts of compassion. In the last few weeks, for example, one of the persistent calls that I've been receiving, and not just me, Pastor KJ and Dr. Keck, we received these phone calls from people who are desperate in this neighborhood, who are getting evicted, for example. And I don't know, if you've never watched an eviction, it's an experience you really don't forget, and the desperation is there. And so we imagine that we're a community that can pick up a phone like that and listen to the person on the other end, and with compassion and love, companion them through that experience. Not with easy answers or with platitudes, not with thoughts and prayers either, but with presence and kinship and solidarity. Maybe there are folks in this room right now that have those gifts. That kind of instrument that builds the kingdom's work. So where there are a lot of gifts, there is complexity. It brings me comfort that the letter today tells us that, right? That we get. In fact, to be honest, I've been thinking about this all week. Paul kind of tells us, grow up. Like, there is difference. Grow up. So if, in a community like ours, with all our gift sets and abilities and stories and histories and circumstances and ideologies, there's going to be struggle in those gift sets. But we're invited by the good news today to continue to see all of those differences as part of the ligaments that hold our common life together, so that we can be a people who continually grow in love, so that we can practice the love that we've been called to gather. So I imagine First-Plymouth Church, at our finest, we are this living organism, this body of Christ, who is living into this love in the world, sealed by the Spirit for that love. That's our rhythm. Our heart beats with that love. We're still fumbling to the chord structure, and we still have some practice to be done so that we can be at our best in that love, so that our hearts beat together towards that love, so that our neighbors encounter that love through us in these ways. But until then, we together continue to rehearse it together through the multiplicity of gifts that we've been given by God. We celebrating them, encouraging them, looking for them. And though I have named a few of those possibilities, the truth is that the possibilities are endless. That there are gifts sitting in these pews in this very moment that we haven't discovered yet. And that gift that you bring uniquely to this space is a gift that's part of our breathing organism. That is love in the world. We need that gift. We need you in your full sense of self. We need you with your story and with your circumstance and with your history. We need you. We together are more complete because you're in this body called the church. The ligaments strengthen the body, maturing in that love. Now, I don't know if I'm going to become a well-renowned bass guitar player. I'm sure I won't. And we might not ever become perfect in our loving. I'm sure we won't. But I'll keep on practicing. I'll keep on trying to get my fingers to hit those notes. And we together will keep on loving, aren't we? And we'll keep on testing those gift sets that we've been given. And moment by moment, day by day, over time, as we hear the rhythm of the heart of love, we together become a living organism that spreads love in near south and beyond in ways unimaginable. Keep on breathing, First-Plymouth. Can't you hear the rhythm of love? Cannot wait to see what gift sets continue emerging for the life of the world.